So guess what's going on right now? The CDC is withholding COVID data over fears of misinterpretation. What? So that's here we go. I'm not making this up. The CDC has admitted that it is withholding large portions of COVID-19 data, including on vaccine boosters, from the public because it fears the information could be misinterpreted. Wow. I guess misinformation is dangerous, but nowhere near as dangerous as information. They're withholding information, not misinformation. They're withholding information. I would have thought releasing information would be the antidote to misinformation, but common mistake. Just don't worry about any of it and keep your mouth shut. Science. Okay, here we go. The leading public health agency has only published a small sample of the data it has been collecting. What? Despite being 2 years into the pandemic, sources told the New York Times. Kristen Norland, a CDC spokeswoman, said the reason for the slow release of the data is because basically at the end of the day, it's not yet ready for prime time. She added that the CDC's priority when gathering any data is to ensure that it's accurate and actionable. So is this why the only studies that we have comes from Israel? I thought that was weird. I thought, gee, in 2 years, should we have a ton of studies? Why does Israel have relevant numbers and data and we don't? Well, I guess now we know, because it's not ready for prime time yet. What in the F does that even mean? That means nothing. That means nothing. But another reason is that the data could be misinterpreted by the public. So when they say not ready for prime time, I'm guessing they need more improv classes. Is that what you think? Right? Is that what's going on there? That's not science talk when you say it's not ready for prime time. That's showbiz talk. I would like them to get back to the science talk. Well, so they're afraid that the data is going to be misinterpreted. Why do I have a feeling that they're really worried that the data is going to be interpreted? Among the data that has been collected but not made public is hospitalizations broken down by age, race, and vaccination status over the last year, and information on the effectiveness of booster shots. You would think that they would fucking be telling us all this stuff. What is going on? They're not sharing important data that affects the public. Why? Prime time. When the CDC released data on the effectiveness of boosters for adults and younger than 65 2 weeks ago, it did not include full numbers. So anybody under 50, we don't know what the data is on the people under 50. We don't know what the data is on people under 50. So the data for the most coveted demo in capitalism, the 18 to 49-year-olds, we have no idea what the data is. Maybe that data is proprietary. You know, health is a business nowadays, isn't it? According to one CDC official, Dr. Daniel Jernigan, the COVID pandemic has revealed how outdated the agency and other state-level health systems has become. You know, when your data is lagging behind a YouTube show, outdated isn't the word. Incompetent, corrupt, a debacle. These are more of the words that I would use for the CDC. Okay. And here's what a doctor has to say about it.
Yeah, Kelly, I think having timely data in a pandemic allows states, cities to make timely information and policy, right? To say which population is at risk, which population could use a booster more quickly, who should we target? But I think here the issue is twofold. One is that we have an underfunded and outdated public health data system, and a problem that preceded the pandemic. And the pandemic has only exacerbated it because the CDC needs to take the slow-moving collection at the hospital levels, at the state levels, collate it, collect it, make sure it's accurate, and then interpret it. All of that takes time, right? So the second issue is that what they've said is that they want to make sure that this is ready for prime time. They don't want to share it, given that there's so much misinformation before it's ready out there, so that it could potentially cause confusion. But
you don't want to give information because then it'll get misinterpreted. Hey, remember when Andrew Cuomo's administration didn't want to release the data on old people that Andrew had killed because it might be misinterpreted and help Trump? Congrats on hitting Andrew Cuomo levels of dishonesty. Way to go, CDC. So we're still not allowed to contradict the CDC here on YouTube, or else they'll take our channel down. But the CDC will never have their channel taken down for all the nefarious shit. Does anybody believe them anymore? Oh, yeah, there's a crisis at the CDC before this. Well, how come nobody talks about it? How come the head of the CDC, that Walensky woman, never talks about it when she comes on TV? How come she never says, there's a crisis at the CDC and we're not prepared to deal with this? How come she never say that? All they do is say masks and vaccines and shut the fuck up. How come they never do anything ever to help you? I think it's because the CDC, the FDA, Fauci, they're all corrupt. Yeah, that's what I think. Hi, everybody. We're doing stand-up comedy dates in Los Angeles on February 26th and March 4th. And March 22nd and 24th, we're going to Houston and Dallas, Addison, Texas. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all our tickets.